was thinking about this, even just the concept, the use of the words, right? The power of words to get in shape. I want to get in shape. The world needs to get in shape. Everybody needs to get in shape. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, whose shape? Get into what shape? What shape does that even mean? And it's all around this judgment scheme that there's a shape that's ideal. Again, if everyone is sitting in the audience of one of my talks and I separate 10 people and tell them they're all going to come up here and dance freestyle in front of everybody, and there's 10 different responses, and then there's 1,000 different responses to my suggestion, and everybody's body, we can't say was ever wrong in the response. All the bodies was honest. So again, if we're not going to go ahead and say that the bodies are pathological in the audience of my talks, we can't say that they're ever pathological in a response to anything they're doing sitting in the audience of life. So there is no body response that's wrong. There is no place to get to, although the world wants it to be. Everybody's response in the audience of life has to be the same. That's why they do measurements. They measure. The hormone responses need to be the same. The fertility responses need to be the same. Your bone responses, your muscle responses, your digestive response, the food needs to be the same. You need to look the same. You need to act the same. You need to feel the same. If you feel differently, that is pathological, and we're going to make sure that you don't feel up or down or left or right, that we're going to connect it all. So again, tie it into this whole thing of getting in shape. Whose shape? Who's determining the shape? There is no shape that would ever be pathological. There's no shape that would ever be wrong. The shape is the honesty around your life, just like measuring a medical image. That's just looking at a shadow on a wall. That's all imaging is, which is so bullshit, and judging the capacity of the value and the beliefs and potential of a person based on the shadow on a fucking wall. That's like telling them that they're going to change that shape and you're a better person. Well, what composes that shape of that shadow? Jeez, I mean, it's every single thing this person is composed of. So that's part of the driver behind, because again, diet and exercise being two of the worst medications you could ever choose, ever in this world. If it's not, we've been doing it for decades, and it's just so far gone that we don't even understand our bodies. We're not connected to our bodies. We know more about our bodies, and we say that we know our bodies, but we don't understand them. We don't trust them. We're afraid of them. We're driving a wedge between them, all around getting in shape, all around fixing that shape with diet and exercise. And that's part of the driver behind this Zoom next Friday, is all about muscle. It's what they're doing to pervert and misunderstand one of the most important tissues in your body, and also by chance, but not, that it's the only tissue you can consciously control, that you have any deliberate control over, that if you want to get access to anything in your body, you have to go through this. If you want to experience a feeling and a thought, you have to go through muscle. If you want to take action after it, you have to go through muscle. If you want to sleep, the rules of nourishment, the rules of nutrition, the rules of rest, the rules of light, the rules of training and physical activity, which we'll go over, they rely on this tissue specifically. Going into some of the superficial easies, why you don't want to stretch a tight muscle, what's the point of that, and why that would be something that would be detrimental to you. And then if you want to stretch, where you can put it and how you can do it, because I want you guys leaving with practical applications. Why the whole cardio craze? Cardio to burn fat, cardio for heart health, cardio for brain health, cardio for mood health, cardio for depression, cardio. I'm going to break that down and go into all those: walking, jogging, biking, swimming, and all those things around cardio as a flex. And then also why those things aren't training, why those physical activities, the activities that we enjoy, aren't the training, which is the only essential that a human needs to be able to do these activities, to understand our bodies more. So we're all, again, from the entering the stream of muscle, we're going muscle into, as it relates to everything from hormones to lymph to nourishment to rest to light to training to physical activity to stories around shape to diet to exercise to all these other things, to get into, to free you. Again, the whole point of these workshops is to create, get you out of the prison that you've put yourself in through all these stories around the medications we call fitness, or forms of medicine, or supplements, or herbs, or diets, foods, tests, exams, labs, metrics, and then how to actually apply them in your life, in your poetic nature, your style, because there are rules, hard-clad universal rules that we all have to abide by. That's the granite. And then we're going to carve our poetry into that granite. So a couple of the topics we will be discussing and breaking down. Plus, you guys get 3 questions for the Q&A. So when you register, just go ahead and send me those. info@TommyJohnIII.com for details, investment, and registration. Let me know if you have any questions. A lot of the times after these workshops, people will go ahead and make changes and start applying some of these things and want to do a follow-up based on the specific information of what was covered in the workshop. That's fantastic. It's a good way to go about it. I had that in the relationship Zoom, had that from the nourishment workshop, and then from the mental health and even the calf jump, spinal hygiene, or the hanging. Lot of information. There's a reason this one might be one of the biggest Zooms I've done. I might have to break it up into 2 parts because it's an invaluable tissue that we need to connect to be able to access and go in and have the depth to be able to see ourselves and to be honest with ourselves, to understand that shape nobody else determines but us, to be able to sit with our symptoms and know that they're for us, to be able to stand next to previously convinced labels and diagnostics. And when we strip those away, who's left standing? We are. Who are we standing with? Ourselves. And so again, that requires a massive amount of true strength, and it can get gnarly and it can get lonely, and healing is supposed to be lonely because it's you with you. You're the only one that experiences it as you. But you can share. There is an element of community that's an essential, but it's not the community to heal ourselves. It is not the community to medicate ourselves. It is us doing the work to then see what our community is even consisting of, because everything around us and our interpretation of everything around us comes from everything inside. So email me questions, concerns, or anything about this. The topic is understanding muscle, your body, symptoms, injuries, and the intimate connection between your muscle, this system of muscle, and everything in your life. From your beliefs to your values, to your thoughts, to your feelings, to your actions, to your nourishment, to the rules in nourishment, food, to light, to rest, to naps, to sleep, to sunlight, to physical activities that we enjoy, to sports, to anything and everything in between. Muscle is the currency for our ability to create change, sustain change, and take on any action that's going to follow after that. The energy rattles through the musculature, and our connection to muscle determines the output greater than the amount of muscle. Boom.